Let's go live in a van. Come on. You're stuck to me. There you go. What do you think? It's a little more peaceful than the house, huh? Yep, she likes it. What do you think, baby? Pretty cozy. Home is where the food bowl is. Probably can't hear this on camera, but she's totally purring. She likes it. I'm so relieved. She loves the van. Well, hello. Tomorrow it'll be 1 week since me and Kitty moved into the van, and I have just been so busy. I have not had time to really get set up or even like enjoy it, to be honest. Work's been hectic and I've just had a lot going on. But today is Sunday and I'm off work and I'm gonna get moved into this van and I'll kind of show you around. And it's only the beginning of May. And we're already hitting 87 degrees, like during the day, which I'll talk about what I'm going to do about that in a minute. But yeah, this is something I'm only going to have to endure this summer because I am moving out of Nebraska as soon as this van's done and I am ready to hit the road. Then I can travel with the weather. So the first thing I'm going to do here is kind of clean up this old chair that I have. It's not, you know, the comfiest chair in the world, but it's the perfect size for my van. And I got this at an old apartment complex I used to work at. They were cleaning out their like storeroom in their clubhouse and this chair was sitting there. And I got this like a really long time ago, like 15 years ago or something. And just kind of kept it around the house on the porch and stuff. And my cat used to love it. My kitty Poops, it was his favorite chair. And I decided to hang on to it just because I like it. It's kind of an old, just, I mean, it's hideous, but that's why I like it, basically. Kind of the perfect size, you know, and it's the perfect height for my desk. I also had to put this over my laptop because my nervous kitty, who's still very, very slowly getting accustomed to the van, likes to walk over my laptop all the time, and when I'm editing video, it's very difficult to figure out what she just did when she pressed every key on the keyboard. So I actually bought this for my last kitty because he loved walking over my keyboard, but now that's part of the van. All right, the next thing I want to do is get all my kitchen stuff in the van. And I've very methodically selected and purchased kitchen items for van life. I used to have a ton of kitchen stuff, but it was all not practical at all for van life. And now that I have an induction cooktop, I had to get all different pots and pans, basically, which is fine. I also have a whole bunch of really nice grilling stuff. I used to be really into barbecue. I have a Oklahoma Joe Highland smoker that I haven't used in years because I've just been too busy to barbecue. But I do intend on grilling constantly as a nomad. If it's not windy, I'll be grilling, basically. So I'll just show you everything I got, and then we'll go figure out that none of it fits in those drawers that I just built. We'll start with my frying pan. This is a non-stick with a kind of wood grain looking handle on it. It's Bakelite, it's not real wood, but this is induction cooktop compatible because in the bottom of it they put a disc of magnetic material that, you know, makes it work with the induction cooktop. But it has a thick bottom and it shouldn't warp. That's the most annoying thing ever about any frying pan, is if the bottom's warped or if the handle is so heavy that the pan doesn't sit flat. You know, drives me nuts. I bought a 4-piece induction cooktop compatible pots and pans set. And this is the biggest one here. It's not huge by any means, but they're stainless, and then they also have that magnetic disc in the bottom of them, so they're compatible with induction. And then the lids, just so happens that the big lid fits perfectly on my frying pan, which is great. I like to cook my eggs like over easy or sunny side up. You gotta kind of steam them a little bit, you know. Everything cooks better covered, pretty much, unless you're like broiling or something. But so I'm gonna put all these together real quick and then get them in the van. But I also have, so it's I thought it was a 4-piece, maybe it's 3. Let's see, am I missing something? Okay, it is just a 3-piece. So I've got the big one, and then like a saucepan or whatever, nice deep, you can cook pretty much anything in that, and then this guy. And there's a baby crying across the street. I am currently staying at my mom's house in the driveway, which is a hell of a lot better than an apartment. Life is already slowly beginning to improve for me. Now these are just some cheap Amazon pots and pans. They're not nothing to brag about. I'll put a link, or I'll put them on the list of stuff I bought for the van. But it was $40 for this whole set, minus the frying pan. I bought that separate, and I got this for like $12 or something. But they're really nice, and the bottoms of them are thick, so I think they will last a decent amount of time. And I wanted a non-stick frying pan, but I did not want non-stick everything else. I am pretty stoked on how the lid fits on the frying pan too, though. That's pretty good. If you watch my first couple of road trip videos, I used to have a folding, like, portable charcoal grill. and it was just a cheap like Walmart one and it broke. But I'd like to get another one. And I was looking at those on Amazon too. Just a little folding, compact, like portable charcoal grill. Just a tabletop sized one, you know. Because I love grilling. And when you cook your meal on a charcoal grill, when you're done cooking, you can take the coals and just dump them right into your fire pit and start your campfire with them. Now, I should probably keep the bubble wrap and wrap the lids back up in them now that I'm thinking about it, because when I go to put them in the van, they're going to be clanking around and making a ton of noise as I'm driving. Alright, I'm going to be pretty embarrassed when these don't fit, but it's not the end of the world. Also, my carpet tape's not really sticking all that great. You know what? They're gonna fit great. And there's plenty of room. Shoot, look at that. Oh, I'm so glad I made this drawer super deep. Everything fits great. Sweet. Alright, next. So here's my grilling stuff. This is called the Grill Dome. I've had this for years. But the magic about this thing is you set it on top of those park grills, you know, and it keeps, especially if it's windy, it just keeps your food hot, traps the heat like a dome, helps you cook your steak thoroughly and stuff. And then to go along with this, I've got this thing that I've had for years and will be bringing with me for van life. Obviously this stuff ain't going in the kitchen of the van, it's gonna go in a tote in the back. But when I'm at camp, say I just have a fire pit and I want to grill on it and not use my charcoal grill that I'm, you know, just talked about buying, I have this. It's just, you put it right over a bed of coals on the ground, you can grill on it, and then there's your grill dome. Now if you have smaller things that you want to grill, like vegetables, shrimps, whatever, I've got a nice grilling basket here. I have several of these, but this is the one I chose to bring with me. Then I have chrome skewers, ones that'll last forever and don't have to worry about soaking them in water or dealing with that. So I can make skewers, you know. I got a pair of tongs. I have several tongs and I chose these for the van life because they fold up all the way and will take up less room. This is going in the kitchen. So I have a really nice Nordic ware aluminum cookie sheet, but I don't use it for cookies. I use it for, well, I have used it for ribs because barbecuing. But this will be a great thing to have for transferring food in and out of the van or from my table over to the campfire or the grill or whatever. It's just a nice durable tray that will last me forever. Now for utensils, I already showed you the tongs. I have one spatula and, you know, it should last forever. I've got a soup ladle that I need to clean. It's all dusty. I've got a spoon with holes in it. Everyone needs one of those, right? I have two bamboo like wok spoons. These are nice because they won't scratch your cookware and they, you know, easy to clean, heat resistant, all of that. I have measuring cups and spoons. These are all stainless. They will last forever. And this is for dry measuring, obviously. And then for liquids, I bought from Amazon. And I paid way too much for this because it's just a measuring cup. But it's a collapsible silicone one. because I do not want any glass or Pyrex in the van, you know. But this one, you can put hot liquids in it. It's actually made to be able to be microwaved, but it's a 2-cup silicone measuring cup. I think that's the perfect van life thing to have, you know. It'll never break. Sure. I also got on Amazon and splurged on more spatulas. So this is great for grilling burgers or whatever, right? But for my new frying pan that I just bought, I got a set of silicone spatulas because they won't damage the non-stick coating. So we got kind of like regular size here. We got long skinny guy here. Not really sure what I'll do with that one. And then we have basically a pancake turner for pancakes, you know. I really don't eat pancakes very often, but you know, these were cheap. So, all right, now for my actual like eating stuff, my cutlery and all that, I got a nice stainless single person camping set. And that's all I'm gonna have. 1 fork, 1 spoon, 1 bowl, 1 plate. And it'll last me forever. I really have no reason to have more than 1 of each. You know, if I find someone someday, she'll probably have her own van. You know what I mean? So we have shallow tray, or shallow plate, I mean. Stainless, last forever. Then we have deep plate, so I don't spill crap all over myself. Then we have bowl, which I need to clean that. Kind of gross. Stainless cup plate bowl. And then we have another stainless cup. And this teeny tiny little sippy cup with silicone lid so I can put hot liquids in it, which is nice. And then for my cutlery, I was going to get a titanium fork, spoon, and knife set. But then I found this stainless everything set, and I kind of liked it so much that I just rolled with this. So I got fork, spoon, butter knife, stainless straw with a cleaning brush, and then 2 chopsticks. And they come in a little case that zips up. This is really cool. I bought this just because I wanted to support the guy, but I got this on Etsy from a YouTuber who's actually, you may have heard of him. His channel's Corporal's Corner. His name's Sean Kelly. But it's a handmade cold steel, carbon steel skillet. A little teeny tiny skillet with the folding handle. And the guy just welded it together himself and stuff. But because it is mild carbon steel, it's induction cooktop compatible. I am gonna have to season this, but I like it. It's unique. I like handmade unique items, which I do have a lot of for my van, and I want to show them all to you. I bought a lot of stuff on Etsy, and if any of you guys, my subscribers, if you have your own YouTube channel, I will subscribe to you publicly. And if you have any, like if you make stuff, if you have an Etsy store or you create things, I would love to support you and buy your stuff and put it in my van. But this is a tiny little skillet. Obviously, it's too small to cook anything more than like 1 burger patty or some eggs with. So that's why I bought the actual 9-inch frying pan. But this will be coming with me in the van. Now for knives, I've got, for my steak knife, I have just one. I forget the brand of this, but Echo. I have one steak knife. That's all I need. That's gonna go in here actually. So I have a butter knife and a steak knife. I also have my buck knife, which you've seen in all my camping videos, which I will be bringing with me. I have this like handmade like boning knife that I bought from this old guy at a garage sale like 2 years ago and never used it. This thing is like a scalpel, and I'm gonna bring it with me because maybe I'll actually catch a fish one day or something, and we'll have that for dinner. Now, for cutting vegetables and all of that, which is mostly what I use a knife for, I didn't really spend a lot, but I splurged on this awesome vegetable cutting knife. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but it's a Japanese, like, I don't even remember what it's called, but it's a veggie knife. And this thing is razor sharp. It's made with like 8 different layers of German stainless steel and foreign stuff, and it's awesome. And here's a picture of the guy with obnoxious amount of arm hair, some kind of famous chef that some German guy. 67 layers of steel sheets. German molybdenum vanadium steel. And it's called a Japanese like Nakiru or something knife, but I don't know. Mad Shark is the brand. It was pretty cheap. It was like 15 bucks or something. And all the reviews said, oh my god, this knife is sharp as hell. We love it. So I'll be cutting all my veggies and making salads and stir fries and shit with this guy. And then I need something to cut them on. And I probably won't do that fold out butcher block shelf idea off the side of my counter because I don't have enough room for it. But what I do have is it's cutting board. It's van life meow, come on, you know. But I have a hone sharpen knives with, and then I also have a actual diamond or whatever sharpening stone, so I can sharpen my knives. A lot of people basically roasted me for talking about microplastics and my sea salt and then drinking tea out of a plastic cup. So I now have this, but my brother got me this Yeti shortly after I bought the van. This was a kind of a housewarming gift from him. It's really high quality. The thing about me and coffee and tea is I'm impatient and I don't like to wait forever for it to cool down. I usually throw an ice cube in my coffee. So I'll be drinking out of this a lot. I also have this little Yeti Rambler, just a small, short one. So I have 2 actual Yetis. And then my brother also bought me several, I have 3 Nalgene's. So liquids covered. You've seen my coffee maker that I bought just for the van. I also bought this a long time ago, like right after I bought the van. I don't know why I buy these things so long ago. Just, I don't know, makes me feel good, gives me some optimism about the fact that my van hasn't been done yet and I haven't been working on it. But I have a USB rechargeable coffee grinder. And it's a special kind of grinder. You know, it's almost like a pepper grinder. You can adjust the coarseness right there. But it's USB rechargeable. So, because I do buy coffee beans a lot from Costco and stuff, because it's cheaper that way. And then you get a fresher cup when you grind it yourself. But I thought this was kind of neat, and because it is battery USB I don't have to like plug it into the van or nothing. It just works. Comes with the little scoop that's kind of cheesy, but it has a little brush on the back to clean the grinder with. I have this old, probably early 90s crock pot. I love crock pots. I used to do it all the time, especially in the winter. I would load this thing, or the bigger ones that I used to have. I'd load them up in the morning, go to work, come home to just the best smelling apartment ever. So I'm bringing this one with me. It's not very practical, but it's also not that huge. And it doesn't take up a lot of power consumption, you know. If you ever watched Foresty Forest, you know how cool it is to be able to crock pot in your van. I could load this, bungee cord the lid on and bungee it to my counter or something, and then drive for like, if I have a long day of driving where I'm going to be driving for like 4 hours, I can just cook dinner in the van while I'm driving, and it'll even stir itself as you're driving around, and then you get to camp and you're all exhausted but you're hungry. Dinner's done, you know. This thing's filthy, I gotta clean it, but I did used to have a Instant Pot that somebody left in an apartment, brand new, never used, and I got rid of it, and it was kind of big, and I didn't want to bring it with me in the van anyway. It was bigger than this. It was one of the larger ones, but pressure cooker would be cool. My ex that I lived with had an air fryer that she got for Christmas, and I never cooked anything healthy in that air fryer. It was all crap from the frozen aisle, like nuggets, pizza rolls, little frozen pizzas. Like, I have no desire to get an air fryer at this point. I do like to bake things. I used to love making casseroles and stuff, like in a big Pyrex, but that's just something I'll just learn to live without. I did consider getting a Dutch oven though, which I think I might someday. Not a big one, but it would be cool to like cook stuff in that over a campfire, you know. But for now, it's just going to be induction cooktop, a little charcoal grill, this little crock pot, and my butane stove for that way I can cook outside still. 'Cause I don't really want to fry burgers and bacon and stuff in the van if I don't have to, you know, just for grease splattering, and you know, it stinks. So if the weather's good enough, I'll be cooking outside for the most part. But with everything I got here that I just showed you, I think I'm pretty well covered on being able to cook a variety of different ways. And as nice as it would be to have a microwave, there's really no room in my van for it. I could have incorporated a little microwave into the build, but it's more of a convenience thing, and I don't plan on having such a busy lifestyle moving forward where I need to just heat up a frozen meal for 3 minutes, and you know, so I mean, if I got the time to cook a healthy meal or make a salad, I will. And you can actually cook a frozen meal on a stove top. You just gotta thaw it out first, you know. Okay, so we'll put Corporal's Corner skillet over there. We'll put cat loaf cutting board in here. I'll go get everything else. I am pretty relieved that everything fits. I was mildly concerned about that, but luckily I made my drawers deep enough. There's lots of room, actually. Plenty. Now, for all my spices and stuff that I bought, I showed them to you in that taking my van camping for the first time video. And for these cups and stuff that I'm putting up here now, I need to get like plastic, like storage bins or baskets or even totes, ones that fit. I do have this basket though, which is all of my like basically all my grooming and bathroom stuff. I actually do shave sometimes, and I brush my hair and stuff. Toothbrush, toiletries, all of that. I just think I'm just gonna keep that right there. It's kind of by the shower. When I do my shower building video, I will show you, but I got this really cool like mirror on a swing arm with a light, so I can like have a mirror basically. But yeah, that actually fits pretty good in here. It only fits one way, but I do like this basket, so I think I'm gonna keep that. I love kayaking, but there's no way I could bring this with me for van life. I could mount it to the side of the van, but it is just not practical. This thing's 10 feet long. It's pretty bulky. It's way better than what I'm about to show you, but I came up with the solution for the van where I can still go kayaking, but not have this. I bought this months ago on sale and never took it out of the box, but it's just an inflatable kayak. Gonna have to make sure I don't puncture it. It's not like a high-end, like super well-built, expensive one. I think I didn't even pay 200 bucks for this, but I really don't remember what I paid for it at all. But I got it on sale, I know that much. But it's just inflatable kayak, you know, that's it. Comes with the pump. I have hand pumps, and I'm also bringing my air compressor. And I'll show you how I'm going to mount my fishing rods to the van. I haven't really figured it out entirely yet, but I think they're going to go in the back. I got some rod holders for them. Also, I really like swimming, and one thing I decided I wanted to get just to try out, it's kind of dorky, but I will put it on YouTube when I actually do it. But I got a snorkel and a mask, and I'm gonna buy some flippers too. So I'm gonna go snorkeling one of these days. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it'll be fun. And I do have GoPros with waterproof cases, so I can film underwater videos for you guys. I talked about an air compressor in the van. This is it back here. This thing is just a cheap Amazon deal, but it's the perfect size to go on the right side of the van in the back, and it's quiet, and I'm only gonna be running it when I'm using it, and that's why I put an outlet in the back there. For this, I was gonna buy a 12-volt compressor, but they were all pretty expensive, and they all had really bad reviews, like this thing's a piece of crap and it overheated and quit working immediately. So this would be a great tool for me to have. I love having an air compressor for anything. My tires, that kayak, blowing stuff off, using my airbrush for like art. Air compressor is a great tool to have. I won't be bringing this because if my heater breaks, I got a wood stove. And I'm sure my cheap, no brand diesel heater will break someday. It's better to just expect it, you know. So I got this 4-rod fishing rod holder thing. I was originally going to mount it to the ceiling of the van, which I might still have to, honestly, but for now the plan is kind of like right here or something, or just not mount them at all and just fold them up, which is probably the more practical thing to do. But if I can somehow get this mounted back here, I can mount all my fishing rods in the back of the van. I'll work on that later though. This is my, it's just a short 25-footer, but this is my RV water hose. It's just, it won't leach chemicals into the water. This was like $9 at Menards. And then of course I've got those filters. I got a 4-pack of them. It's inline water filter for when I fill my tank. You know, basically I could just hook up to any campground or building that has drinking water. This is my camping toolbox that I've been using for years. I keep everything in here, like every tool or item for camping. And when I'm done with my other side of my cabinets, I'm going to put a lot of this in the van. And then I think I'm going to take this toolbox and put actually tools in it for working on the van. I'm still on the fence about the generator, you know. I just have so many ways to charge my batteries now. The only way I could really see needing this generator is if I just was stuck in a hot climate like I am going to be this summer and needed to run an AC. Because my solar charges even when it's cloudy. And if it's going to be cloudy for days and days and days, I could just drive around and use the DC to DC to charge my batteries with. Which, I mean, either way, you got to put gas in it. So, I don't know. I have a portable AC and I have this generator. And I really don't think I want to bring either with me because they're both heavy and large. And I was going to put a mini split, or at least I considered it, and haven't done that yet, like a 12-volt trucker one. That might happen in the future, but not at this point in time. I just need to get the hell out of here, to be honest. So after my first year or so, if I'm like super miserable and it's always way too hot, no matter where I go, because there is a couple months out of the year that even up in the mountains it's hot, like August or whatever. It's usually pretty brutal nowadays, pretty much anywhere. So I don't know. I ain't gonna get rid of the generator. I'm just saying I might not bring it with me for this first major outing of mine, which I hope to not have to come back here for at least a year. I am so sick of this damn place. And I also have my swamp cooler that I showed you kind of already. I have actually never even taken this thing out of the box. Why don't we do that right now? Actually see what this thing looks like. I'm assuming it's yellow, but... So this is my portable AC. It's like a 1-ton unit. It's way too big for my van. But this is my temporary, just for this summer solution, because I am going to be baking in this driveway. I already am. It's 87 degrees the last 2 days in the afternoon, and it's only May. And I'm stuck here till the van's done and I have enough money to hit the road. So this is my temporary, just for this year solution. But moving forward, all I was going to have is this. Because, like I mentioned when I showed you this, I only plan on being like in hot places out in the desert, like the Southwest, where the humidity is a lot lower than here in Nebraska. The reason Nebraska sucks is because it's right in the middle of the country and it's east of the Rockies. So in the wintertime, the Arctic air, the polar blasts come down straight down the high plains of the Dakotas and Montana and all that, and through Nebraska. So we get like 20 below zero Fahrenheit in the wintertime, and then we get like super warm Gulf of Mexico air up in the summertime. So it's hot and humid and sticky and gross, and there's tons of mosquitoes and flies all summer. And then it's 20 below zero and like freezing cold winds in the winter. But in the Southwest, yeah, it gets extremely hot. But the day that I went to Phoenix last year, it was like 94 there. And that felt better to me than an 80-degree day in Omaha because of the humidity. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's good size. Basically, it's like a kind of like a humidifier, really. But it's evaporative cooler, aka swamp cooler. Basically, you just fill this container full of water and it just blows it over a coil with the fan. And I think a combination of this, having my windows open, and the max fan should at least provide some relief. It's like it was made to fit under here. There we go. That's a good fit. Just got to put it in forwards, you know. This is all my, these two totes is what I put in my Buick when I go camping. I'm gonna pull these out of here and go through them, because a lot of this stuff I'm not bringing with me. Like my cheap plastic cutlery and stuff, or this filthy kettle that I've used over campfires, or actually the rest of this I probably will bring with me. I got my cast iron pan, my cheapie. I think I will still bring this for cooking over a campfire or something. But yeah, I'm gonna pull these out, sort through them all, and I'm gonna just have like probably 2 large totes under here, and then other large items like the kayak, the swamp cooler, table, chair, compressor, whatever. Actually, I mean, I do have the room for that generator, but it's already 85 in here. Not too bad though. Fan's running on full speed though, almost. So the next thing I'm gonna do is decorate the van. I don't have a whole lot to put in here, but I have some things. I've got my Native American stuff that I bought. It's all authentic. I got this arrow at Crazy Horse Memorial, and I got a painted feather. I got a little tiny dream catcher, and then I have a big huge dream catcher. I don't think it works though, because I'd still be dreaming. The one in the Buick works, and that's authentic as well. That's I think Santee Sioux, or one of the Sioux tribes made that one. But I'm gonna hang those things up. And then when I was at 1880 Town in South Dakota, I bought these little cat hooks in the gift shop there. So I'm gonna hang those up somewhere. I don't know where yet, but then I've got the Flammarion engraving. I'm gonna put that back in the bedroom. And my buddy Rick gave me this shoestring, actually written by him, tag, rest in peace, Mark. I'm gonna put that up somewhere. And then I've got the, this is great, to go over the entry door, I think, if it fits. I've got the, it's a metal tin of the van down by the river. The story about this painting is some guy named David Irvine just bought this painting from a thrift store, and then he put the van and stuff on there. So Yeah, I thought it'd be a pretty funny one for the van. So I do have a ton of stickers. I'm not quite ready to sticker up the van yet. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. And I'll probably put them on these cabinet doors. But you know I love my stickers if you've seen my Buick. But one thing I forgot to show you is this. It's my panini press. It's a grilling accessory. Bought this a really long time ago and took it camping once and made the most incredible sandwiches ever. And I would have been pissed if I forgot to bring this with me. It even comes with the cookbook. Just get you some nice sourdough or some rye bread or something, and fancy cheese and some deli meat, and cook it right over coals or campfire even. Kitty's in the house. She's taking a nap right now. I don't like to just disrupt her when she's napping and bring her out into the van, but I will here. We've been spending every night in the van together. She's getting used to it. For the first couple days, I just left her in the van. And I have the max fan set to run at 80. And I have a camera on the van at my mom's house. So what I was able to do is just look at my phone, and I can tell if the van's above 80 degrees inside because I can see that the fan is open. But the last couple days I've just been bringing her into the house. It's like the following Tuesday. So it's been over a week now since I moved in. Right now it's nice out. It cools down quick at night. And this heat wave is just temporary. After Thursday it's going to cool off. And actually after like Saturday it's going to be back into the 60s, and it's supposed to rain a bunch. But next time I go to my shop, which will probably be when you're watching this video, I am going to go ahead and just insulate the cab roof, the ceiling of the cab, because that's where most of the heat seems to be coming from, is that cab roof gets really hot. I have my cab cover on the front and then Reflectix. You know, I did expect to be dealing with the heat this summer, and that's why I got that portable AC. I got a really good deal on that too. It was free 99, but in the future, in the summertime, the plan is to be like above 8,000 feet snorting pines, so I shouldn't really have to worry about being too hot all the time. And really, with the windows open and the max fan running, the inside temperature of the van is pretty much the same as the outside. So the insulation's pretty good on the ceiling or on the roof, and so it's really just whatever temp the actual weather is kind of what I can expect. Obviously, if I'm parked in a parking lot and got the whole thing closed up, it'll get a little hotter in here, but it's nothing like a car. Like when you leave your car out in the sun baking and you get in there and it's 100 million degrees. It's actually not that bad, especially with Reflectix up and all that, and the max fan, which is nice because I can just set that to auto. One thing I did realize right away is my entire wardrobe is pretty much trash. I do have stuff, decent amount of stuff that I will be bringing with me, but I need to buy like pants, underwear, socks. You know, my wardrobe is, because all I do is work all the time. I'm always getting filthy and beating up my clothes and stuff. So these cabinets, definitely plenty of room for all of my clothes. Not going to be an issue with that at all. Just whatever camping accessories and camera equipment I can fit in these drawers and in these cupboards. I'm pretty confident that the van is big enough for me, Kitty, and all of my stuff. I'm definitely not gonna... I originally was planning on having, and I still might do this, and build a trailer hitch off the back of the van. Because when I removed that giant heavy step bumper that was part of the U-Haul, it had a hitch, but it was just a 2-inch ball that was welded on. It wasn't even a proper receiver hitch. I don't know if they're all like that, but mine was. So I threw that thing away. Plus it was pretty much useless after I built the trunk. You couldn't even really step on it. And I didn't like how low to the ground it was. And that's, you know, one of the selling points of a U-Haul is they're easy to load because they, you know, it's lower than all the other vans. And on that note, another thing I figured out is that you can buy the same leaf springs online that this has on it, like the super heavy duty load springs, but they all come with a 2-inch block under them, or they come with a 2-inch block, so it maintains the same ride height as the standard van springs. And these don't have those blocks on them. So I think they installed those springs and removed the blocks to lower the van down, to basically just make it lower for easy loading and stuff, which is just a U-Haul feature or something. But so yeah, other than the fact that it became 90 degrees the minute I moved into the van, which is just the irony of my life, but everything's going really well. Kitty, pretty much, she's not even here right now. She's in the house, like I said, but she's pretty much used to the van. But she really hates when I leave the van. It's like if she's in here with me and then I go, like, in the house for a minute for some reason, or if I go to work, she usually doesn't even really get up or care. But when I come back from work in the middle of the day or something and I walk in the van, it startles her. Like, she gets spooked out. She'll go kind of hide in the corner. And one time she even made it into the trunk area, like squeezed above the batteries and got in there, and I freaked out because I couldn't find her. Thought she might have snuck out as I was leaving the van. So I popped the back open and found her back there. I thought about putting a cat door under here just so she could go under there and hide and stuff, but I actually don't want her under there at all, especially like when I'm driving. That would be like the time she would go hide under there, and I don't want her to get asphyxiated. I mean, the van's sealed up pretty good, but in the very back there, that's where the tailpipe is. And the way that vehicles work is as you're driving down the road, there's a kind of a negative air pressure. And it, you know, if you're, I don't know, it's like those old station wagons from the 70s where the kids faced the other direction in the back. You know, you kind of inhale the exhaust smoke. And plus I'm putting my diesel heater down here, and I don't want her under there and have anything to get like burned or injured on. So I'm not gonna put a cat door, and I think I might take some of this rattan and put it under there too. Other things I'm really longing for is just, I want the van to be done. I want the cab finished. I want this cabinet done, and I'm really excited to take it places and go camping in it. I don't really have any trips planned because I'm on a mission to get this van done and just get in a financially good position where I can hit the road and just get the hell out of here for permanent. But I do want to take some smaller trips just to get Kitty more accustomed to going places in the van. So I think after I get the suspension and the wheels put on and all of that, get the van a little more roadworthy, I will take some weekend camping trips just here in Nebraska with Kitty. And there's actually a campground and a lake like 2 miles away from where my mom lives here. So we could just do like some like day trips or something, or I'll drive to a park and it'll scare her because she hates riding in the car. And she's just scared of everything. She's a sensitive little thing. I want to get her kind of more used to it and reward her, like when we go places. Like I want to take her to a park where there won't be a ton of dogs and people, or just some chill place outside, and then take her outside, let her explore, and like brush her and give her treats. And basically kind of get her in the mindset of going places is a good thing. We're just going to another awesome place to hang out and be outside and chill. So that's kind of, I'm just gonna slowly kind of work her into, so that then when I hit the road on the big day, you know, when I drive halfway across the country, not in one day obviously, but when I'm driving a few hours a day, it won't be so terrifying on her. So I am really excited to cook a meal in here and actually use my induction cooktop for the first time. I might just make that a Wednesday video, just a little bit of a shorter one, 20-30 minutes, something like that. So that'll be coming up soon, and then the next actual working on the van video is what I'll be doing next, and that is underneath this bed area. I want to get it all insulated and sealed up and finished up, and then get my diesel heater installed. It's kind of the last thing on my mind right now with the weather this week, but I do need to get that done and test it, make sure it works, work out all the kinks and stuff before I actually hit the road. And then I really want my plumbing. It would be nice to have a fully functional sink. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Special thanks to Art, Laney, and Jim for joining my Patreon. I appreciate that. Thank you to everyone who's donated with the thanks button, and thanks for chatting with me on my premiere last weekend. That was really fun. And thanks to everyone who gave me a super chat during that. I appreciate that. That was fun, and I plan on doing that again in the future here. And I may be doing a live stream from right here from the van, so keep a lookout for that. Thank you everyone for watching and subscribing. Have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.